My beloved child, pay attention. Slow your racing thoughts for a moment and listen to me. I am not whispering to you by accident. I am not speaking into empty air. I am speaking into your life, into this very hour, because I am giving you a gift. And if you do not quiet your heart, you may miss the beauty of what I am placing in your hands. You have been distracted for so long. The noise around you has been loud. Responsibilities, worries, disappointments, endless messages, endless demands. They have pulled at your focus like strong winds. You have tried to keep up. You have tried to survive. But in the middle of surviving, you have forgotten to look up. And now I am gently lifting your chin. Pay attention. There is something shifting. You have felt it, haven't you? A subtle stirring. A sense that something is about to change, even if you cannot explain how. You have asked me for signs. You have asked me for help. You have asked me to move in your life. And I have heard every word, even the ones you did not speak out loud. But my beloved child, the gift I am giving you may not arrive wrapped the way you expect. It may not come with fireworks or applause. It may come quietly. It may come disguised as a new perspective, a sudden peace, an unexpected opportunity, or even a challenge that awakens strength you did not know you carried. That is why I am telling you now, pay attention. This moment is not random. You are not listening to these words by coincidence. I have been arranging circumstances behind the scenes. I have been preparing hearts. I have been aligning events. Even when you thought nothing was happening, I was working. Even when you felt forgotten, I was forming something beautiful for you. There have been nights when you lay awake, wondering if I still see you. There have been days when you questioned your path. You wondered if you missed your chance. You feared that time had slipped through your fingers. But I tell you now, nothing has been wasted. Not your tears. Not your waiting. Not your silent prayers. The gift I am giving you begins with awareness. It begins with waking up to my presence in your life. It begins with realizing that you are not abandoned in the chaos. I am closer than your breath. I am guiding you more than you know. So pause with me. Let the urgency of this world fade for a moment. Let my voice become clearer than your fears. Something sacred is unfolding. Something intentional. Something crafted with love. My beloved child, do not drift past this season distracted. Do not dismiss the small beginnings. Pay attention, because what I am placing before you now will shape the next chapter of your life. And I am inviting you to receive it. My beloved child, there is a quiet danger that has tried to follow you through this season, and it is not failure, and it is not lack. It is distraction. Distraction is subtle. It does not shout, it whispers. It does not push you down. It slowly pulls your eyes away from what truly matters. And if you are not careful, it will convince you that the urgent is more important than the eternal. You live in a world that competes for your attention every second. Voices rise around you telling you what you should fear, what you should chase, what you should compare, and what you should prove. Notifications light up your days. Responsibilities fill your hours. Expectations crowd your thoughts. And somewhere in the middle of all that noise, my still, gentle voice can seem faint. But I have not stopped speaking. I see how tired your mind has become. I see how your heart feels stretched between yesterday's regrets and tomorrow's uncertainties. When your thoughts race, it becomes difficult to recognize my hand moving in your life. When anxiety speaks loudly, faith can seem distant. And when you focus only on what is missing, you may overlook what is already being given. Distraction is not always sinful. Sometimes it looks like busyness. Sometimes it looks like ambition. Sometimes it even disguises itself as responsibility. But when it pulls your heart away from trust, when it steals your peace, when it blinds you to my presence, it quietly robs you of the gift I am placing before you. I do not speak this to correct you with harshness. I speak this to gently redirect you. I am not disappointed in you. I am not standing at a distance with folded arms. I am walking beside you, reaching for your hand, guiding your gaze back to me. When a loving father sees his child wandering toward a dangerous edge, he does not shout in anger. He calls out in care. Pay attention, my beloved child. There was once a traveler walking through a valley at sunrise. The sky was painted in gold and soft pink light. Dew shimmered on the grass. The air was fresh and filled with promise. But the traveler was so focused on the map in his hands, so worried about the road ahead, that he never looked up. He hurried forward, anxious not to lose his way. By the time he reached the hilltop, the sun had fully risen, and the beauty he had walked through was already behind him. The gift had been there all along, but his eyes were fixed elsewhere. You, too, have walked through sacred moments while worrying about the next turn. You have been so focused on surviving that you have forgotten to notice how I have been sustaining you. The strength you woke up with this morning was not your own doing. The protection you did not see yesterday was my quiet covering. The doors that did not open were not rejection. They were redirection. Attention is not simply about awareness. It is preparation. When you choose to quiet the noise and listen for me, your heart becomes ready. When you lift your eyes from fear and fix them on my faithfulness, your spirit becomes steady. You begin to see opportunities others overlook. You begin to recognize guidance that once felt invisible. I am preparing you, not just to receive a gift, but to recognize it. The enemy of your peace would love for you to stay distracted. He would love for you to scroll past your blessing, to rush past your breakthrough, to doubt the very moment that holds your transformation. But I am awakening you. I am stirring something deeper within you. A holy awareness, a calm alertness, a readiness. My beloved child, do not allow the noise of the world to define your reality. My voice is stronger than the chaos. My plans are greater than your fears, and my gift is closer than you think. Breathe with me now. Slow down. Let your heart settle. The more you lean into my presence, the clearer everything will become. I am not asking for perfection. I am asking for attention. Because when you truly see what I am doing, you will understand that I have been giving to you all along. My beloved child, the gift I am giving you may not look like what you have been praying for. It may not arrive in the shape you imagined. You have pictured open doors, sudden relief, clear victories, and visible rewards. And while I am able to bring those things in their time, the gift I am placing in your life now is deeper than surface change. You have asked me for breakthrough, but I am giving you transformation. You have asked me to remove the mountain, but I am strengthening your feet to climb. You have asked for immediate answers, but I am forming enduring wisdom within you. You see, my child, what I give you is never shallow. It is always rooted in love and designed for your lasting good. Sometimes my gifts come wrapped in unfamiliar paper. They may feel uncomfortable at first. They may stretch you. They may require trust before understanding. But do not mistake unfamiliarity for absence. Just because it does not look the way you expected does not mean it is not my hand at work. There was once a young woman who prayed for confidence. She wanted boldness. She wanted to stand tall and fearless. She thought I would simply pour courage into her heart overnight. Instead, I allowed her to walk through situations that challenged her voice. I placed her in rooms where she had to speak, even when her hands trembled. At first, she wondered why I was not answering her prayer. But over time, she realized something beautiful. Confidence was not handed to her. It was built within her. The very moments she wished away became the soil where her strength grew. So it is with you. You may look at your current circumstances and wonder how they could possibly be a gift. You may see delay and think it is denial. You may see challenge and think it is punishment. But I do not punish my beloved children with cruelty. I refine them with care. I shape them with intention. I guide them with wisdom that sees far beyond today. The gift I am giving you might be clarity born from confusion. It might be humility born from disappointment. It might be compassion born from your own pain. You have walked through seasons that felt heavy, but within those very seasons, something sacred has been taking place. I have been shaping your heart to carry more than you once could. If I gave you everything exactly as you imagined it, you might receive the blessing but miss the growth. You might celebrate the outcome but remain unchanged within. My desire for you is not only success, but wholeness. Not only victory, but depth. Not only provision, but peace. Think of a seed buried in the soil. If the seed could speak, it might cry out in the darkness, believing it has been forgotten. It cannot see the sun. It cannot feel the breeze. It only knows pressure and weight. Yet beneath the surface, life is breaking open. Roots are forming. Strength is gathering. What looks like burial is actually preparation for blooming. You, my beloved child, have mistaken some of your planting seasons for endings. But they were beginnings. You thought something was being taken from you when in truth something was being planted within you. Trust me in this. I know what you need before you ask. I understand the future you cannot see. The gift I am giving you is aligned with the destiny I have prepared for you. It is tailored to your heart, your calling, your journey. Do not reject the wrapping because it feels unfamiliar. Do not turn away because it requires patience. Lean closer. Ask me to help you see with new eyes. Ask me to soften your heart to receive what I am truly offering. My gifts are never careless. They are intentional. They are crafted in love. And even now, what feels confusing will soon reveal its beauty. Stay attentive, my child. The blessing may not look like what you expected, but it is exactly what you need. My beloved child, there is another gift I am placing into your life, and it is one you rarely recognize at first. It is the gift of timing. You often measure your life by clocks and calendars. You look at your age, your deadlines, your plans, and you quietly ask, am I behind? Have I missed my moment? But I do not move by panic, and I do not rush by fear. I move with perfect intention. You have mistaken waiting for absence. You have interpreted delay as denial. Yet I tell you now, what feels delayed has often been divinely timed. There are seasons in your life that are meant for planting, seasons meant for watering, and seasons meant for harvest. If you demand fruit in the middle of planting, you will only frustrate your own heart. Consider the farmer who walks into his field in early spring. He presses small seeds into the soil. From the outside, it looks like nothing has changed. The field appears empty. Days pass, then weeks. If the farmer were impatient, he might dig up the soil every morning, checking to see if the seed has sprouted. But in doing so, he would destroy the very growth he is hoping for. Instead, he trusts the process. He understands that unseen work is still work. So it has been with you. There are prayers you prayed months ago, even years ago, that I have not forgotten. They are not lost in silence. They are not buried in neglect. They are growing beneath the surface. Roots are stretching deep into places you cannot see. Strength is forming quietly. And when the time is right, what has been hidden will break through the soil with life. My beloved child, if I had given you certain blessings too early, they would have overwhelmed you. If I had opened certain doors before your heart was ready, you might have stepped into rooms that required strength you had not yet developed. My timing protects you. My pacing prepares you. I am not withholding from you. I am positioning you. There were moments when you thought opportunities slipped away forever. You watched others move ahead. You compared your timeline to theirs and felt small. But you do not see the full story of their journey, and you do not see the full design of yours. I craft each path uniquely. What is meant for you cannot be stolen by another. What I have prepared for you will not pass you by. Even now, I am aligning events in ways you cannot imagine. Conversations are forming. Circumstances are shifting. Hearts are being softened. Doors are being built long before you ever knock on them. While you wait, I work. While you rest, I arrange. While you question, I continue weaving the threads of your future together. Trust the rhythm I have set for your life. Think of the sun rays. It does not burst into the sky at midnight because someone demands it. It rises at its appointed hour, painting the world with light exactly when darkness has completed its assignment. If the sun rushed, the night would not finish shaping the dawn's beauty. In the same way, your night seasons have been shaping your capacity to appreciate the morning that is coming. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are in process. There is peace available to you when you release the need to control the clock. There is rest when you stop measuring your worth by visible milestones. The gift of my timing frees you from striving. It invites you to trust that I see beyond the horizon of your understanding. My beloved child, lean into this season. Let patience have its perfect work. Allow the roots to grow strong and deep. When the moment of harvest arrives, it will not be rushed, and it will not be fragile. It will be steady, full, and prepared. Pay attention to the quiet growth happening now. It is not wasted time. It is sacred preparation. My beloved child, the gift I am giving you is hidden inside your current situation. Yes, even there. Even in the place you have questioned. Even in the circumstance you quietly asked me to remove. I want you to see what I see. I want you to understand that this moment, as imperfect as it feels, is carrying treasure within it. You look at your life and notice what is unfinished. You see the tension in relationships, the weight of responsibility, the uncertainty about tomorrow. You feel the ache of dreams that have not yet bloomed. And in your heart, you may whisper, "How could this be a gift?" But I tell you gently, do not judge the soil before the seed has risen. There was once a craftsman who searched for strong wood to build a table that would last for generations. He did not choose the smoothest piece lying on the forest floor. He chose wood that had endured seasons of wind and rain. He chose wood marked by storms because it had grown dense and resilient. The very pressure it survived and strengthened it from within. My child, the pressure you have endured has not weakened you the way you think. It has deepened you. It has made your compassion richer. It has softened your judgment of others. It has taught you patience that comfort never could. You have learned how to listen more closely. You have learned how to endure quietly. These are not small things. These are gifts forming in you. Sometimes you pray for change, not realizing that transformation is already happening. You want the scenery to shift, but I am shaping the heart that walks through the scenery. You want the external battle to end, but I am strengthening the inner warrior. You want relief, and I am building resilience. Look again at where you stand. A job that feels stretching is teaching you discipline and creativity. That relationship that feels complicated is revealing your capacity for forgiveness and boundaries. That season of uncertainty is teaching you how to depend on me more than on visible security. None of it is accidental. None of it is wasted. I know there are moments when you feel tired. You wonder how much longer you must carry certain weights. You fear that this chapter defines your entire story. But this is only one page, not the whole book. And on this page, seeds are being planted that will bloom in chapters you have not yet reached. Do not despise small beginnings. Do not overlook quiet growth. I am present in the ordinary. I am active in the unseen. When you wash dishes, when you drive to work, when you sit alone with your thoughts, I am there, shaping, teaching, guiding. Sacred things are happening in simple spaces. The gift hidden in your current situation is perspective, is depth, is empathy. It is wisdom born from walking through real life, not just dreaming about it. If I removed every challenge immediately, you would miss the treasure buried within it. Imagine a miner digging into the earth. The work is dirty. The air is thick. The progress feels slow. But hidden within the rock are veins of gold. The miner does not quit because the surface is rough. He keeps digging because he knows what lies beneath. I am asking you to trust that there is gold in this season. My beloved child, lift your eyes. Ask me to show you what is forming. Ask me to reveal the strength growing in your character. Ask me to help you see how far you have already come. You are not stuck. You are being shaped. You are not forgotten. You are being refined. And within this very moment that you once questioned, I am placing a gift that will serve you for years to come. Pay attention. The treasure is closer than you think. My beloved child, another gift I am giving you is clarity. I know how long you have walked through mental fog. I have seen the confusion that sat heavy on your thoughts. There were days when every decision felt overwhelming. Nights when questions circled your mind without rest. You asked me for direction, for a sign, for something certain to hold on to. And even when the answers did not come as quickly as you wished, I was already at work clearing the path before you. Clarity does not always arrive like lightning splitting the sky. Often, it comes like the slow lifting of morning mist. At first, you only see a few steps ahead. The shapes around you are still soft and undefined. But as you continue walking, as you keep trusting, the landscape begins to reveal itself. What once seemed confusing starts to make sense. What once felt chaotic begins to align. You thought you needed every answer at once. But I know that too much light too quickly can blind instead of guide. So I have been giving you understanding in pieces, measured and gentle. Each lesson, each experience, each closed door and open window hath been part of the unveiling. There was a young man who stood at a crossroads in his life. He held two opportunities in his hands, both promising something good. He feared choosing wrongly. He feared disappointing others. For weeks he remained frozen, waiting for a voice from heaven to shout the correct direction. But what he did not realize was that I had already been shaping his heart. Through previous seasons of growth, I had refined his values. I had clarified what truly mattered to him. The answer was not hidden, it was forming within him. When he finally quieted his anxiety and listened deeply, peace pointed the way. My beloved child, clarity often comes as peace. Not excitement, Not pressure, not fear-driven urgency, but steady peace. When your mind slows and your heart rests, you will notice which path carries my calm assurance. That calm is not weakness. It is wisdom. The confusion you experienced was not punishment. It was part of the process of sifting through noise. You have been learning to discern my voice from the many others that call your name. You have been discovering that not every opportunity is assignment, and not every open door is meant for you. Discernment is a gift, and it grows through practice. I am aligning your thoughts with truth. I am untangling lies you once believed about yourself. Where you once thought you were incapable, I am revealing strength. Where you once thought you were unworthy, I am affirming your value. As those false beliefs fall away, clarity increases. You begin to see yourself and your future more accurately. You outrush this unfolding. If I showed you the entire map of your life right now, you might become overwhelmed by its scale. Instead, I illuminate the next step. And when you take that step, I illuminate the next. This is how trust is built, not through seeing everything, but through walking faithfully with what you see. Even now, as you listen to these words, something is settling within you. A realization that you are not as lost as you once feared. A recognition that I have been guiding you more than you noticed. The very questions that troubled you have been shaping deeper understanding. My beloved child, the fog is lifting. The confusion is thinning. Keep your eyes on me. Keep your heart open. As you continue to pay attention, you will notice patterns of grace, threads of guidance, gentle nudges that point you forward. Clarity is not about controlling your future. It is about trusting the one who holds it. And I hold it securely. Walk with me, and the path will grow brighter step by step. My beloved child, the gift I am giving you now is strength, strength you did not know you possessed. You have prayed for relief, and I have heard you. But alongside relief, I have been building resilience within you. There is a quiet power forming in your spirit, and it has grown through every storm you thought might break you. You often measure strength by how little you feel or how unaffected you appear. But true strength is not the absence of tears. It is the courage to keep walking while your heart is still tender. It is choosing hope when disappointment whispers loudly. It is rising again after you have fallen, even when no one sees the effort it takes. Think of a tree planted on a hillside where winds are strong. If the weather were always calm, its roots would remain shallow. It would look healthy for a time, but the first true storm would uproot it. Instead, the constant wind forces its roots deeper into the earth. With every gust, it anchors itself further down. Over time, it becomes unmovable, not because it avoided storms, but because it endured them. You, my beloved child, have been in windy seasons. Words spoken against you tried to shake your confidence. Situations beyond your control tested your patience. Delays stretched your endurance. There were moments when you felt bent low, when you questioned how much more you could handle. Yet here you are, still standing, still breathing, still seeking me. That is strength. You may not see yourself as strong because you remember your fears. You remember the nights you cried. You remember the doubts that passed through your mind. But strength is not proven by the absence of fear. It is revealed by your decision to move forward despite it. Every time you chose not to give up, you grew stronger. Every time you forgave instead of hardening, you grew deeper. Every time you trusted me when the outcome was uncertain, your roots extended further. There was a young woman who believed she was fragile. She avoided conflict and feared challenge. When difficulties came, she thought they were signs that she was not capable. But as seasons unfolded, She faced responsibilities she never expected. She learned new skills. She spoke truths she once kept silent. She survived disappointments that once would have crushed her. One day, she looked back and realized she was no longer the person she used to be. Strength had quietly replaced fear, not all at once, but piece by piece. So it is with you. The strength I am building in you is not only for survival, it is for purpose. There are doors ahead that require courage to walk through. There are people you will one day encourage with words drawn from your own experience. There are challenges you will face with calm assurance because you have already overcome so much. Do not underestimate what you have endured. Do not minimize the growth that has taken place within you. Even now, when something difficult arises, you respond differently than you once did. You pause. You reflect. You pray. That is maturity. It is strength shaped by grace. My beloved child, I am not hardening your heart. I am fortifying it. I am not making you cold. I am making you steady. The world may try to convince you that you are barely holding on, but I see the depth that has formed in you. I see the endurance woven into your character. Pay attention to this gift. Recognize it. You are stronger than yesterday. You are wiser than before. And because I am with you, the strength within you will continue to grow. Stand tall, rooted in my love. The winds may still blow, but they will not uproot you. You are becoming unshakable. My beloved child, the next gift I am placing into your hands is the gift of release. You have carried so much for so long. Some of it was never yours to hold. Some of it belonged to past seasons that have already ended. Yet you kept gripping tightly, afraid that letting go would mean losing control or forgetting what you endured. But release is not loss. Release is freedom. I see the memories that still echo in your heart. Words that wounded you. Mistakes you replay in your mind. Regrets that whisper, if only. You have tried to move forward, yet part of you remains anchored to yesterday. You revisit old conversations. You rehearse different outcomes. You carry invisible weights that no one else can see. My beloved child, I am not asking you to pretend that those moments did not matter. I am not asking you to erase your story. I am inviting you to lay it down in my hands. Imagine a traveler walking a long road with a heavy backpack. At first, he does not notice the strain. But as miles pass, his shoulders ache, and his steps grow slower. Inside the bag are items he needed for a previous journey, tools, supplies, memories. Yet he has entered a new landscape now. The weight that once served him is no longer necessary. If he refuses to set it down, he will exhaust himself before reaching his destination. You, my beloved child, have stepped into a new season. But some of the burdens you carry belong to the old one. Release the need to prove yourself to those who misunderstood you. Release the guilt for choices you made when you did not know better. Release the anger that still flickers when you think of how you were treated. Holding on to these things does not protect you, it drains you. Forgiveness is not saying that what happened was right. It is choosing not to let it control your future. When you forgive, you unlock your own heart. When you surrender regret, you make room for growth. When you release fear, you create space for peace. I know letting go feels vulnerable. You may fear that if you loosen your grip, you will be hurt again. But my beloved child, I am your safety. I am your covering. When you place your pain in my hands, it does not disappear into emptiness. It is transformed. I take what wounded you and weave wisdom from it. I take what disappointed you and shape discernment from it. There are blessings that cannot fully enter your life while your hands are closed around the past. I want to fill you with new joy, new opportunities, new relationships. But to receive them, your hands must be open. Release also means surrendering outcomes to me. You have tried to control situations that were never within your power. You have replayed scenarios, strategized conversations, imagined results. But peace comes when you trust that I am working beyond your effort. My beloved child, breathe deeply now. Picture yourself placing every burden at my feet. The hurt, the regret, the fear, the unfinished questions. Feel the lightness that begins to replace the heaviness. That is my gift to you. You are not defined by what you went through. You are not trapped by what once was. The past shaped you, but it does not own you. Pay attention to this sacred exchange. As you release, I restore. As you surrender, I strengthen. As you let go, I lift you higher than before. Freedom is waiting for you. Open your hands, my child. I am ready to carry what you no longer need to hold. My beloved child, I am now giving you the gift of new vision. For a long time, your sight has been shaped by survival. You looked at your life through the lens of what went wrong, what might fail, what could hurt you again. You learned to expect disappointment before joy. You trained your eyes to scan for danger instead of possibility. But I am gently lifting your gaze higher. Vision is not merely about seeing with your eyes. It is about perceiving with your heart. It is about believing that more is possible than what stands directly in front of you. And I am awakening that belief within you again. There was a time when you dreamed freely. You imagined a future filled with meaning, connection, and purpose. But along the way, setbacks dimmed those dreams. Words from others made you question your ability. Failures made you doubt your capacity. Slowly, your vision narrowed. You stopped imagining beyond what felt safe. Yet I did not create you for small, fear-driven living. I planted eternity in your spirit. I wove purpose into your design. Even when you forgot your dreams, I did not forget them. Even when you set them aside, I preserved them in my keeping. Imagine a painter standing before a blank canvas. At first, there are only scattered brushstrokes. From a distance it may look messy, incomplete, but the painter sees the full image before the first color is applied. Every stroke, even the ones that seem random, moves toward the final masterpiece. My beloved child, you have been judging your life by the unfinished strokes. But I see the completed picture. New vision begins when you trust that your story is still unfolding. I am expanding your perspective. Where you once saw closed doors, you will begin to notice hidden pathways. Where you once saw limitation, you will recognize potential. Where you once saw only yourself, you will see how your life touches others in ways you never realized. You are not too late to dream again. You are not too old. You are not too broken. The experiences you thought disqualified you have actually prepared you. The compassion you gained from pain will shape the way you serve. The wisdom you gain from mistakes will guide your decisions. Do not be afraid of renewed hope. Sometimes hope feels risky because it makes your heart vulnerable again. But I am not awakening your vision to disappoint you. I am awakening it because it is time. Lift your eyes beyond immediate circumstances. The season you are in is not your final destination. It is a bridge. It is a classroom. It is preparation for something broader. I am aligning you with assignments that match your growth. New vision also means seeing yourself as I see you, not defined by your flaws but by your potential, not measured by your failures but by your perseverance. When you begin to see yourself through my eyes, confidence will quietly rise. My beloved child, I am placing fresh dreams in your heart. Pay attention to them. Notice what stirs you. Notice what brings light to your spirit. Those stirrings are not random. They are invitations. Step by step, your sight will sharpen. You will begin to recognize opportunities that once passed unnoticed. You will sense when to move and when to wait. Your future will no longer feel like a dark hallway, but like a path gradually illuminated. Trust this unfolding. I am not finished with you. The best chapters of your story are not behind you. They are ahead. And as you walk with me, your vision will grow clearer, wider, and filled with promise. My beloved child, the gift I am giving you now is my nearness. Above all else, before breakthrough, before clarity, before open doors, I am giving you myself in a deeper way. You have searched for signs. You have longed for confirmation. But what your heart has needed most is not a signal from a distance. It is my presence close beside you. I am nearer than your next breath. I am not watching you from far away, measuring your progress. I am walking with you through every uncertainty, every decision, every quiet moment you think no one notices. When you felt alone in that room, I was there. When you drove in silence, replaying your worries, I was there. When you lay awake at night, staring into the dark, I was there. There is a difference between knowing about me and experiencing me. In this season, I am drawing you into experience. I am teaching you to recognize my peace when it settles unexpectedly on your heart. I am teaching you to notice the gentle nudge that guides you away from harm. I am teaching you to sense comfort rising within you even when circumstances remain unchanged. There was a child once afraid of thunderstorms. Each time the sky roared, he would run to his father's room. The storm did not immediately stop. The lightning still flashed. But something changed when he felt his father's arms around him. The thunder became background noise because presence replaced fear. My beloved child, the storms in your life may not vanish overnight, but my presence transforms how you walk through them. You are not facing anything alone. My nearness steadies your heartbeat. It calms your racing thoughts. It anchors you when the winds attempt to shake you. You have asked me for evidence that I care. My presence is that evidence. The quiet strength that carried you through your hardest days was not accidental. The peace that surprised you in difficult conversations was not self-generated. It was me. Lean into this closeness. Speak to me throughout your day. Invite me into your ordinary routines. I delight in walking with you not only in crisis, but in simplicity. I am not a distant rescuer. I am a constant companion. And now, my beloved child, as you feel my nearness, I invite you into something sacred. The very message you are receiving right now is reaching hearts across the world. There are souls who feel forgotten, who are waiting for this same reassurance of my presence. When you respond to this message with generosity, you are not supporting a channel. You are helping me extend light into dark places. As I have said, give, and it will be given to you, and I speak that promise over you now as living truth. If your heart feels stirred to act, that stirring is my invitation. Sow into this mission through super thanks, through membership, or through the PayPal link placed in the description, and even shown in QR form, and watch how I multiply your seed into a harvest of hope. Do not see it as a transaction. See it as planting in my field. There is urgency in this hour, for many are searching for comfort and truth. When you give, you become a river through which my love flows. I bless every hand that releases provision for my work, I open doors of favor and pour fresh oil upon your life. Step forward in obedience and generosity. Participate in the spreading of my word, and let your giving echo into eternity. My beloved child, remain close to me. My presence is your greatest gift. In my nearness you will find strength, peace, courage, and direction. Stay attentive to my voice, and you will never walk alone. My beloved child, the gift I am now breathing into your spirit is courage. You have lived cautiously for so long, measuring your steps, guarding your heart, preparing for disappointment before it arrives. You told yourself it was wisdom. Sometimes it was. But sometimes it was fear wearing the mask of protection. I do not condemn you for being afraid. Fear is a human response to uncertainty. But I did not design you to be ruled by it. I designed you to walk with me, and when you walk with me, courage rises naturally. Courage is not loud. It does not always shout or make dramatic declarations. Often, it is quiet. It is the decision to try again. It is the willingness to speak honestly. It is choosing to trust when you cannot control the outcome. Courage is a steady flame, not a sudden explosion. There was once a young man who dreamed of building something meaningful. Every time he thought about starting, his mind filled with reasons why he would fail. He imagined criticism. He imagined mistake. So he delayed. He waited for a perfect moment when he would feel completely confident. That moment never came. Finally, weary of waiting, he took one small step. Then another. He felt fear, but he moved anyway. Over time, the fear grew quieter, not because it vanished, but because his courage grew stronger. My beloved child, courage grows through action. You have been waiting to feel fearless before moving forward. But courage does not come before the step. It comes during it. When you choose to trust me and move even with trembling hands, something inside you expands. Each obedient step strengthens the next. I know the specific fears you carry. The fear of rejection. The fear of failing publicly. The fear of being misunderstood. The fear of loss. Some of these fears were born from real experiences. They are not imaginary, but they do not have authority over your future. My love is greater than your fear. When light enters a dark room, darkness does not fight. It simply retreats. In the same way, when you allow my truth to fill your thoughts, fear loses its grip. My truth says you are capable because I am with you. My truth says you are guided, not abandoned. My truth says that even if you stumble, I will steady you. Courage does not mean every door will open smoothly. It does not guarantee that every plan will succeed, but it ensures that you will not remain stuck in the prison of what if. It frees you from living a life dictated by worst-case scenarios. There are opportunities ahead that require bravery. Conversations you need to have. Boundaries you need to set. Dreams you need to revisit. If you continue waiting for fear to disappear completely, you may delay blessings meant for this season. My beloved child, I am not asking you to leap blindly. I am asking you to step with me. I go before you. I prepare the way. When you walk into new territory, you do not walk alone. My spirit strengthens your spine. My presence steadies your voice. Pay attention to the moments when you feel a gentle push to act. That nudge is not pressure. It is invitation. It is me encouraging you to rise beyond limitation. You are braver than you believe. You have already survived things you once thought would break you. Look back at your life and see the evidence. The fact that you are still standing is proof of resilience. Now it is time to move forward, not just surviving, but advancing. Take the step. Speak the truth. Apply for the opportunity. Forgive the hurt. Try again. Each act of courage declares that fear no longer governs you. My beloved child, I am filling you with holy boldness. Walk confidently. The path ahead may be unfamiliar, but you are equipped. And with me beside you, you are more than able. My beloved child, the gift I am unfolding before you now is restoration. There are places in your life that feel worn down, like old walls weathered by years of wind and rain. There are relationships that seem strained, dreams that appear delayed, and parts of your own heart that feel chipped and fragile. You have wondered quietly if some things are too far gone to be repaired. But I am the one who restores. Restoration does not always mean returning something to exactly the way it was. Sometimes it means rebuilding it stronger than before. Sometimes it means creating something new from what was broken. I do not simply patch cracks, I strengthen foundations. There was once a small village where an ancient bridge collapsed after a violent storm. The people mourned its loss because it had connected them for generations. For a time, they believed they would never rebuild it. But as they gathered the stones and cleared the debris, they discovered weaknesses in the original structure that had gone unnoticed for years. When they rebuilt the bridge, they reinforced it with stronger materials and deeper anchors. The new bridge stood firmer than the old one ever had. My beloved child, some of the collapses in your life were painful. You did not ask for them. You did not expect them. But in the rubble, I have been revealing weaknesses that needed strengthening and truths that needed uncovering. Where trust was misplaced, I am teaching discernment. Where boundaries were thin, I am helping you build them stronger. Where your heart was wounded, I am binding it with tenderness. You may look at certain relationships and think they are beyond healing. You may look at lost time and feel regret. You may see opportunities that slipped away and assume they are gone forever. But I work in ways that surpass your understanding. Restoration can come as reconciliation. It can come as peace even without reconciliation. It can come as new opportunities that redeem what once felt wasted. It can come as inner healing that allows you to move forward without bitterness. I know the specific areas where you long for repair. I know the conversations you wish had gone differently. I know the moments you wish you could relive. Yet I tell you gently, you cannot right the past, but you can be renewed in the present. When a field has been damaged by drought, it may look lifeless. The ground appears cracked and barren. But when rain begins to fall steadily, life returns in ways that seem almost miraculous. Seeds that lay dormant beneath the surface begin to awaken. Green shoots push through dry soil. What once looked hopeless becomes fertile again. My beloved child, I am pouring rain on the dry places of your heart. Healing may not be instant, but it is certain. I am softening hardened areas. I am dissolving resentment that quietly drained your joy. I am replacing shame with dignity. I am restoring confidence where doubt once ruled. Trust me in this process. Do not rush it. Do not demand immediate perfection. Allow restoration to unfold layer by layer. Each step matters. There are blessings ahead that require a restored heart to fully receive them. There are connections waiting that align with your growth. There is purpose waiting on the other side of healing. You are not defined by what broke. You are defined by what I am rebuilding within you. Pay attention to the subtle shifts, the conversations that feel lighter, the thoughts that no longer sting as sharply, the peace that lingers a little longer than before. These are signs of restoration at work. My beloved child, what was damaged will not have the final word. I am writing a new chapter. And in that chapter, strength rises from weakness, beauty grows from ashes, and hope stands where despair once lingered. I am restoring you. My beloved child, the gift I am placing before you now is the gift of identity. For too long, you have allowed your sense of self to be shaped by voices that did not create you. You have worn labels that others placed upon you. You have carried definitions born from failure, comparison, rejection, and misunderstanding. But I am gently removing those labels, one by one. You are not what they called you. You are not the sum of your worst mistakes. You are not defined by what did not work out. Before anyone spoke a word over your life, I formed you with intention. Before you achieved anything or failed at anything, I loved you completely. There was once a child who grew up hearing that he was incapable. Every time he struggled, the voices around him confirmed the lie. Over time, he stopped trying. He believed the label. But one day a teacher saw something different. She saw potential hidden beneath insecurity. She began speaking truth over him consistently. Slowly, he started to believe he was more than what he had been told. The same child who once avoided challenges began to pursue them. His abilities had always been there. What changed was his understanding of who he was. My beloved child, your abilities, your purpose, your value have always been present. But the wrong voices have clouded your view. Some labels came from people who were wounded themselves. They spoke from their own pain. Some labels came from your own inner critic, repeating moments of embarrassment or regret. Some came from comparison, when you measured your life against someone else's highlight reel. But none of those voices hold authority over your true identity. I call you chosen. I call you beloved. I call you capable. I call you resilient. I call you worthy of love and respect. Not because you have proven yourself flawless, but because I created you with divine purpose. When you begin to see yourself through my eyes, your posture changes. You no longer shrink to make others comfortable. You no longer chase approval as if it were oxygen. You stand grounded in quiet confidence. Identity shapes decision. If you believe you are unworthy, you will accept less than you deserve. If you believe you are incapable, you will hesitate to step forward. But when you understand that you are my beloved child, crafted with care, you will begin to walk differently. There may still be days when old labels try to resurface. Memories may attempt to whisper, "You are still that person." But you are not bound to who you were in moments of weakness. Growth has taken place. Healing has occurred. Wisdom has formed. Imagine a sculptor chiseling away at a block of stone. At first, the stone looks rough and undefined. But with each strike, the sculptor reveals the figure hidden inside. A stone does not become something new. It becomes what it was always meant to be. In the same way, I have been chiseling away false identities from your heart. What remains is your true self, strong, compassionate, purposeful. My beloved child, stop apologizing for who you are becoming. Stop shrinking your dreams to fit small expectations. You are not arrogance when you embrace your identity. You are aligning with truth. Pay attention to how you speak about yourself. Replace harshness with grace. Replace doubt with remembrance of my faithfulness. The way you see yourself influences the way you step into your future. I am redefining you, not by the standards of the world, but by my eternal design. Stand tall in this identity. Walk in it. Let it anchor you when comparison tries to pull you sideways. You are not an accident. You are not overlooked. You are my beloved child, and your identity is secure in my love. My beloved child, the gift I am placing around you now is protection. Not always the kind you can see with your eyes, but the kind that surrounds you in ways you may never fully understand. You have walked through days unaware of how many dangers you were spared from. You have been kept from paths that would have led to deeper pain. You have been shielded in moments when outcomes could have turned against you. I am your covering. There were times you felt exposed, vulnerable, unsure of who or what you could trust. The world can feel unpredictable. Circumstances can change without warning. People can disappoint. Plans can collapse. And in those moments, fear tries to convince you that you are alone in a fragile world. But I want you to know that my protection is not fragile. Think of a shepherd guiding sheep through a narrow valley. The sheep do not see every cliff edge. They do not understand every threat hidden in the distance. But the shepherd walks ahead, watching carefully, rod in hand, ready to defend. The sheep may not always be aware of the danger they avoided, but the shepherd is always aware. My beloved child, I have been walking ahead of you. There were conversations that could have escalated but did not. There were decisions you almost made that would have complicated your life, yet something inside you hesitated. There were places you could have gone, but circumstances redirected you. You may have seen inconvenience. I saw protection. Protection does not mean you will never face difficulty. It means difficulty will not destroy you. It means that what comes against you will not have the final word. It means that even in challenge, you are not defenseless. There is also protection over your heart. You have been through disappointment. You have felt betrayal. And after such experiences, it is natural to build walls. But I am teaching you the difference between healthy boundaries and hardened barriers. Protection is not isolation. It is wisdom guided by my spirit. I am guarding your peace more than you realize. When certain people drifted out of your life, you mourned the loss. But some exits were acts of mercy. When certain opportunities closed unexpectedly, you felt confused. But some closed doors were shields against future harm. Trust that I see what you cannot. Imagine a child riding in the back seat of a car, unaware of the many times the parent adjusts the wheel to avoid unseen hazards. The child may be restless or distracted, not realizing the care being taken. In the same way, you may not always perceive the ways I am steering your journey. But I am attentive. I am vigilant. You do not need to live in constant anxiety about what might happen. You do not need to anticipate worst-case scenarios to feel prepared. Rest in the assurance that my eyes are upon you. Even when storms arise, my protection remains. A house built on a firm foundation may shake in strong winds, but it does not collapse. I am strengthening your foundation daily. I am fortifying your faith. I am surrounding you with unseen assistance. My beloved child, breathe deeply. Release the fear that tells you you must control everything to stay safe. You are not navigating life alone. Pay attention to the subtle ways you have been preserved. The accidents that did not occur. The mistakes that did not define you. The crises that passed more gently than expected. I am your refuge. I am your defender. I am your shield. Walk confidently, not recklessly, but securely. Trust that I am both beside you and ahead of you. Under my protection, you are held. My beloved child, the gift I am unfolding within you now is wisdom. Not the kind that boasts or draws attention to itself, but the quiet, steady discernment that guides your steps. You have asked me many times, what should I do? Which direction should I take? And while you expected a loud answer, I have been forming something deeper inside you. Wisdom is not merely information. It is understanding shaped by experience and anchored in truth. You have gained more of it than you realize. Every mistake you learned from, every challenge you navigated, every time you paused instead of reacting, all of it has been building wisdom within you. There was once a young woman who sought advice for every decision. He feared making the wrong choice. She collected opinions from friends, from mentors, from anyone willing to speak. But the more voices she gathered, the more confused she became. One day she grew quiet. She stopped running to everyone else and sat in stillness. In that silence, she began to sense a gentle clarity rising from within. It was not dramatic. It was not loud. But it was steady. He realized that through her journey, he had learned enough to trust her discernment. My beloved child, I am teaching you to trust the wisdom I have planted in you. There are decisions ahead. Some will seem small. Others may feel significant. But you do not need to be paralyzed by fear of choosing incorrectly. When you walk closely with me, even your detours become part of the journey. I guide you not only through perfection, but through growth. Wisdom often sounds like calm reason instead of anxious urgency. It invites you to pause before speaking harsh words. It nudges you to consider long-term impact instead of immediate gratification. It reminds you of lessons already learned. You have noticed this voice at times. When anger tempted you to respond quickly, something within urged patience. When excitement tempted you to leap without reflection, something within suggested waiting. That inner guidance is not weakness. It is maturity. It is wisdom developing strength. I know you fear making mistakes. You fear consequences. But understand this. I am not waiting to punish you for missteps. I am walking with you, ready to redirect when needed. Wisdom does not guarantee a life without error. It ensures that errors become teachers rather than chains. Imagine a traveler navigating through mountains. He does not have the entire map visible at once, but he has learned to read the terrain. He recognizes stable ground from loose gravel. He senses when weather is shifting. Experience sharpens his awareness. In the same way, your past seasons have sharpened yours. You are not the same person you were years ago. You see red flags more clearly. You sense unhealthy patterns sooner. You understand your limits better. This is growth. This is wisdom at work. My beloved child, ask me for guidance, and I will continue to give it generously. But do not ignore the discernment already forming in you. Combine prayer with thoughtful action. Combine faith with careful consideration. Pay attention to peace. Pay attention to consistency. Pay attention to the fruit of your choices. Wisdom reveals itself over time. There will be moments when the path is not perfectly clear. In those moments, choose integrity. Choose kindness. Choose patience. These choices rarely lead you astray. I am shaping you into someone who moves thoughtfully, not impulsively. Someone who listens before speaking. Someone who reflects before reacting. Trust this gift. Walk confidently in it. The wisdom growing in you will protect you, guide you, and open doors at the right time. You are being led, my beloved child, and not only from above but from within. My beloved child, the gift I am teaching you now is patience. I know this is not the gift you would have chosen for yourself. You would have preferred speed, immediate answers, visible progress. What patience is not punishment. It is preparation. It is the quiet strength that steadies your heart while unseen work unfolds. You live in a world that rewards urgency. Everything moves quickly. Messages are instant. Results are expected overnight. And when your life does not shift as rapidly as you hoped, frustration creeps in. You begin to wonder if something is wrong, if you have missed a step, if I have delayed on purpose. But listen carefully, my beloved child. Waiting is not wasting. There is a sacred process that takes place in hidden seasons. Think of a seed buried deep in the soil. From the surface, nothing appears to be happening. Days pass. Rain falls. Sunlight warms the ground. Yet beneath the earth, something miraculous is occurring. The shell of the seed breaks open. Roots begin to stretch downward before any sign of life appears above ground. If the seed tried to rush upward too quickly, without deep roots, it would not survive the first harsh wind. You are in a rooting season. The waiting you are experiencing is strengthening you in ways you cannot fully see yet. Your faith is deepening. Your character is refining. Your perspective is maturing. Patience is shaping endurance within you. There was a man who dreamed of leading others. He wanted influence and impact. But early in his journey, he was impatient. He sought recognition before he had developed consistency. He wanted authority before he learned humility. Life slowed him down. Doors did not open as quickly as he expected. At first, he resented the delay. But in those quiet years, he learned discipline. He learned empathy. He learned resilience. When leadership finally came, he was ready to carry it without being crushed. My beloved child, I am not withholding good things from you. I am ensuring that when they arrive, you are ready to steward them. Patience also protects your peace. When you stop fighting the clock, you release unnecessary pressure from your heart. You allow yourself to grow steadily instead of anxiously. You begin to trust that my timing is wiser than your urgency. You may feel like others are moving ahead while you stand still. But comparison distorts perspective. You do not see the full story of their journey, and they do not see yours. Your path is uniquely designed. The pace I have set for you fits your purpose. In waiting seasons, it is easy to become discouraged. You may question your progress. You may doubt your direction. But remember how far you have already come. Growth is not always dramatic. Often, it is subtle and consistent. Patience does not mean passivity. It means faith-filled perseverance. Continue preparing. Continue learning. Continue trusting. Even when results are not immediately visible, progress is taking place. Imagine a potter shaping clay on a wheel. The process requires steady hands and careful timing. If the potter rushes, the vessel collapses. If the clay resists, it becomes misshapen. But with patience, the vessel forms beautifully. I am shaping you with careful attention. I am not in a hurry because I am creating something lasting. My beloved child, breathe deeply in this season. Release the need to force outcomes. Allow me to complete what I have begun in you. Patience is not a delay of your destiny. It is the pathway to it. Trust the process. Trust my heart. And know that in the waiting, you are becoming stronger, steadier, and more prepared for what lies ahead. My beloved child, the gift I am pouring gently into your life now is healing. I know there are places in your heart that still ache when touched. I know there are memories that can shift your mood in an instant. You have learned how to function with the pain. You have learned how to smile while carrying wounds beneath the surface. But I did not create you merely to cope. I created you to be whole. Healing is not weakness. It is courage in its purest form. There were moments when you told yourself you were fine because facing the pain felt too overwhelming. You distracted yourself. You stayed busy. You buried certain feelings under responsibility and routine. And for a time, that helped you survive. But survival is not the same as restoration. Imagine a small crack in a wall. At first, It seems minor. You can ignore it. But over time, if left unattended, it widens. Healing begins when you acknowledge the crack instead of pretending it is not there. My beloved child, I am inviting you to let me into those places you have guarded so carefully. There was a woman who carried betrayal in her heart for years. She functioned well on the outside, but inside she mistrusted every new connection. She assumed hurt before it happened. One day, she finally allowed herself to grieve what she had lost. She allowed herself to feel anger, sadness, and disappointment without judgment. As she brought those emotions into the light, something softened within her. The pain did not vanish overnight, but it began to lose its control. Healing had begun. My beloved child, you do not have to rush this process. Healing unfolds layer by layer. Some days you will feel strong. Other days an old memory may rise unexpectedly. Do not shame yourself for that. Growth is not a straight line. It is a journey with gentle turns. I am binding the broken pieces of your heart with compassion. I am replacing harsh self-criticism with grace. I am teaching you that your past does not define your worth. What happened to you was real, but it is not your identity. There are wounds that shape the way you see yourself. Perhaps you internalized rejection and concluded that you were not enough. Perhaps you experienced loss and concluded that stability was impossible. But those conclusions are not truth. They are scars speaking too loudly. Let me speak louder. You are loved beyond measure. You are valued beyond performance. You are not fragile beyond repair. The very sensitivity that caused you pain is also the source of your empathy and depth. Healing also means forgiving yourself. You hold on to mistakes longer than I do. You replay moments you wish you could change. But dwelling in regret does not rewrite the past. It only delays your peace. Learn from what happened. Yes, grow from it. But do not chain yourself to it. Picture a river flowing steadily through a valley. When it encounters rocks, it does not stop permanently. It moves around them. Over time, even the hardest stones are smoothed by the water's persistence. My love flows through your life in that same way. It may take time, but it softens what once felt sharp. My beloved child, you are not alone in your healing. I am with you in every tear, in every moment of reflection, in every courageous conversation. I am not impatient with your process. Pay attention to the subtle changes, the triggers that no longer sting as deeply, the memories that carry less weight, the peace that lingers a little longer after prayer. Healing is happening. Trust me with your heart. I am restoring it gently, carefully, completely. And as healing continues, you will discover that what once wounded you will no longer control you. You are becoming whole. My beloved child, the gift I am setting before you now is the opening of doors. For a long time, you have stood before closed ones. You knocked. You prayed. You opened. And when they did not open, disappointment settled into your heart. You wondered if you lacked something, if you had missed your moment, if you were simply not meant to step into greater things. But I was not denying you. I was directing you. Closed doors are not always rejection. Sometimes they are protection. Sometimes they are redirection. And sometimes they are preparation for a door far greater than the one you were knocking on. There was a man who applied for a position he believed was perfect for him. He prepared carefully. He imagined how his life would change if he were accepted. When the answer came back as no, he felt crushed. He questioned his worth. Months later, an unexpected opportunity arose in a completely different field. He aligned with his gifts more deeply than he had ever imagined. Looking back, he realized that the closed door had not been a setback. It had been guidance. My beloved child, I see the full landscape of your life. You see one hallway at a time. You see one door at a time. But I see how each room connects. Even now, doors are forming ahead of you. Conversations are aligning. Opportunities are being shaped quietly. People you have not yet met will play roles in your next chapter. What feels still today is not stagnant. It is being arranged. When the right door opens, you will sense alignment. It will not require you to shrink your identity. It will not demand that you betray your values. It will stretch you, yes. It may even intimidate you slightly. But it will resonate with the growth that has already taken place within you. You have grown through clarity, strength, patience, healing. These gifts were not random. They were preparation. Doors that once would have overwhelmed you will soon meet a version of you who is ready. Pay attention to small openings as well. Not every door swings wide with fanfare. Some begin as quiet invitations. A conversation that sparks new ideas. A connection that feels meaningful. A nudge to explore something you had previously dismissed. There is alignment taking place beneath the surface. I am positioning you where your gifts will be needed. I am guiding you toward spaces where your story will matter. Do not be discouraged by what has not opened yet. A door that opens too soon can lead to strain. But a door that opens at the right time leads to flow. Imagine a key crafted specifically for one lock. It may not fit anywhere else. But when it meets the door designed for it, the turn is smooth. In the same way, you are uniquely shaped. Not every opportunity will fit you, and that is not failure. It is design. My beloved child, trust that I am both the architect and the guide. When I open a door, no force can close it prematurely. And when I close one, it is because something better is being prepared. Continue to prepare your heart. Continue to grow. Continue to listen. The door meant for you will not require desperate striving. It will respond to obedience and readiness. You are not standing in a hallway forever. Movement is cutting. Opportunities are forming. And when you step through the door I open, you will recognize that every closed one before it was part of the journey that led you there. Stay attentive. The next chapter is nearer than you think. My beloved child, the gift I am placing within you now is peace in the midst of chaos. Not the kind of peace that depends on everything going perfectly, but the kind that remains steady even when the winds rise. You have looked around at the world and felt the tension. You have watched situations unfold in your personal life and wondered how stability could possibly exist in such uncertainty. Yet I tell you, peace is not the absence of storms. It is my presence in the center of them. There will always be circumstances beyond your control. There will be unexpected news, shifting relationships, financial pressures, health concerns, and global noise that tries to invade your thoughts. If your peace depends on everything settling down, you may wait a lifetime. But if your peace is anchored in me, it becomes unshakable. Imagine a lighthouse standing on a rocky shore. Waves crash against it relentlessly. Storm clouds gather. Winds howl through the night. Yet the lighthouse does not panic. It does not chase the storm away. It simply stands firm, its light steady, guiding ships safely through turbulent waters. The strength of the lighthouse does not come from calm weather. It comes from its foundation. My beloved child, I am strengthening your foundation. There were seasons when anxiety gripped you tightly. You anticipated worst outcomes before they happened. Your thoughts raced far ahead of reality. But notice how you have changed. You pause more often now. You breathe deeper. You bring concerns to me sooner. That is growth. That is peace forming. Peace is not passive. It is active trust. It is choosing to rest your heart even when your mind tries to spiral. It is reminding yourself that you are not carrying the weight of the universe alone. There was a woman who faced constant uncertainty in her work and family life. Every week brought new complications. At first, she tried to control everything. She monitored every detail. She exhausted herself trying to predict problems before they arose. Eventually, she reached a breaking point. In surrender, she began entrusting outcomes to me daily. The external chaos did not disappear immediately, but internally, something shifted. She stopped reacting to every wave and began responding with steadiness. Those around her noticed the difference. Her calm became contagious. My beloved child, the peace I give you is not only for your benefit. It will influence those around you. When others panic, your steadiness will speak. When others despair, your hope will shine quietly. You may still feel moments of tension. That does not mean peace has left you. It means you are human. In those moments, return to me. Return to breathe. Return to trust. I am not surprised by the storms in your life. I am not scrambling to fix what catches you off guard. I am fully aware. I am fully capable. And I am fully present. Let go of the need to solve everything immediately. Some answers will unfold in time. Some situations will resolve in ways you cannot predict. Your responsibility is not to control every outcome. It is to remain anchored. Pay attention to the calm that rises unexpectedly within you. That is my gift. It is subtle but powerful. It steadies your voice. It softens your reactions. It guards your heart from being overwhelmed. My beloved child, storms may come, but they will not carry you away. You are built on stronger ground than you realize. Stand firm. Let peace guard your mind. Let trust quiet your fears. And remember, even in the loudest chaos, my voice remains steady, guiding you safely through. My beloved child, the gift I am working within you now is refinement. I know this word may sound intense, even uncomfortable. Refinement often comes through pressure, through moments that stretch you beyond what feels easy. But understand this clearly. I do not refine you to harm you. I refine you to reveal the beauty already placed within you. Consider gold hidden deep in the earth. In its raw form, it is mixed with other elements. It does not shine brightly at first glance. But when placed in fire, the impurities rise to the surface and are gently removed. The fire does not destroy the gold. It separates what does not belong so that the true value can be seen. You, my beloved child, are more precious than gold. The pressures you have experienced were not meant to burn you away. They were meant to bring clarity to what truly matters. Through disappointment, you learn what is worth your time and what is not. Through conflict, you discovered your boundaries. Through setbacks, you found resilience you did not know you possessed. Refinement also exposes patterns that no longer serve you. Sometimes I allow discomfort because it draws attention to areas that need adjustment. Not as condemnation, but as invitation. When impatience rises, you become aware of it. When pride whispers, you notice it sooner. When fear tries to dictate your choices, you recognize its voice more quickly. This awareness is growth. There was once a potter shaping clay into a vessel. As the clay spun on the wheel, the potter applied steady pressure with skilled hands. Without pressure, the clay would collapse. Too much pressure would ruin it. But with careful, measured touch, the vessel formed beautifully. The clay might have felt the pressure and misunderstood it as harm. Yet it was being shaped for purpose. My beloved child, I am the potter, and you are in my hands. The pressures you feel are not random. They are measured. They are purposeful. They are never beyond what I know you can endure with me beside you. Refinement also removes what weighs you down. Old habits, outdated beliefs, unnecessary fears. These are impurities that cloud your brilliance. As they rise to the surface, you may feel exposed. But exposure is not humiliation. It is preparation for freedom. You have noticed changes in yourself. Reactions that once controlled you now pause before speaking. Choices that once seemed tempting now lose their appeal. Your priorities are shifting. What once seemed urgent now feels less important. This is refinement at work. Do not resist the process. Lean into it with trust. When challenges arise, ask not only, "Why is this happening?" but also, "What is this shaping in me?" That question opens your heart to growth instead of resentment. Refinement is not permanent fire. It is a season, and seasons change. The heat you feel now is producing clarity, strength, and maturity that will serve you in the days ahead. My beloved child, you are not being diminished. You are being revealed. The version of you that emerges from this season will carry deeper compassion, steadier faith, and clearer purpose. Pay attention to the beauty forming beneath the surface. You may not yet see the full shine, but I do. I see the resilience. I see the integrity. I see the quiet confidence growing within you. Trust my hands. Trust the process. When refinement is complete, what remains will reflect my light more brilliantly than before. My beloved child, the gift I am awakening within you now is purpose. Not a vague idea, not a distant dream, but a living, breathing calling woven into your very being. You have wondered at times why you are here, what your life truly means, whether your days are making any lasting difference. I want you to know that you are not random. You are intentional. Before you ever questioned your direction, I established it. Before you ever doubted your significance, I designed your impact. Purpose is not something you must chase desperately. It is something you uncover as you walk faithfully with me. There was once a simple lamp placed in a small home. It was not grand or ornate. It did not shine in a palace. Yet each evening, it lit the room for a family gathered around it. The lamp may have envied brighter lights elsewhere, but its purpose was not to illuminate the world all at once. It was to bring light exactly where it was placed. In fulfilling that purpose, it was invaluable. My beloved child, do not measure your purpose by comparison. Your calling is not diminished because it looks different from someone else's. Some are called to lead crowds. Others are called to influence quietly. Some build businesses. Others nurture hearts. Some speak loudly. Others serve gently. Each assignment matters. Purpose often reveals itself through what stirs your heart. Notice what moves you deeply. Notice what burdens you with compassion. Notice what brings a sense of fulfillment even when it requires effort. These are clues. You may think your past disqualifies you from meaningful purpose, but often it is your past that prepares you. The struggles you endured gave you empathy. The failures you survived gave you humility. The lessons you learned gave you wisdom. Nothing has been wasted. There was a man who felt his life had taken too many wrong turns. He believed his mistakes had ruined his chance at significance. Yet over time, he began helping others avoid the same pitfalls he had encountered. His transparency became healing for many. What he once saw as failure became the foundation of his purpose. My beloved child, your story holds power. Your experiences carry insight. Even your wounds can become windows of understanding for others. Purpose is not always revealed in one grand moment. Often, it unfolds gradually. It grows clearer as you serve faithfully in small ways. When you are kind, you fulfill purpose. When you act with integrity, you fulfill purpose. When you encourage someone who feels discouraged, you fulfill purpose. You not wait for a dramatic sign before living intentionally. Live each day aware that your actions ripple outward. Words you speak today may echo in someone's heart for years. You are uniquely equipped. Your personality, your gifts, your perspective, they are not accidental. They are tailored to the spaces I have prepared for you to step into. Pay attention to opportunities that align with your growth. As you have gained wisdom, courage, and healing, new responsibilities will feel natural rather than overwhelming. You will sense alignment between who you are becoming and what you are being asked to do. My beloved child, you do not need to have every detail of your purpose mapped out. Walk in obedience with what is in front of you. Trust that I am unfolding the larger picture. You were created on purpose, for purpose. Your life carries meaning beyond what you can see right now. Stand confidently in that truth. Live intentionally. Shine where you are placed. And know that as you walk with me, your purpose will become clearer, deeper, and more impactful with each step. My beloved child, the gift I am restoring within you now is faith renewed. There were seasons when your belief felt strong and effortless. Trust flowed naturally. Hope came easily. But then life happened. Delays stretched longer than you expected. Prayers seemed unanswered. Outcomes unfolded differently than you imagined. And quietly, doubt began to whisper. I was not offended by your questions. Doubt does not disqualify you. It reveals that you are longing to understand. It shows that you care deeply about the promises you are holding on to. But doubt becomes heavy when it convinces you that I am absent or indifferent. That is not truth. There was a traveler walking through a dense forest at dusk. As daylight faded, shadows grew longer. Familiar paths looked different in the dim light. He began to question whether he was still heading in the right direction. Yet earlier that day, he had clearly seen the trail markers guiding his way. The markers had not moved. The path had not disappeared. Only his visibility had changed. My beloved child, some of your doubts came because the light seemed dimmer, not because I had left. Faith is not constant emotional certainty. It is steady trust even when feelings fluctuate. There will be days when you feel confident and secure. There will also be days when you feel uncertain and fragile. Both can exist in the same journey. You have asked, why did this take so long? You have wondered, did I misunderstand? But remember the lessons you have already walked through. Remember the doors that eventually opened. Remember the protection you recognized only in hindsight. I have been faithful before. I will be faithful again. Renewed faith often begins small. It is a quiet decision to try again. It is a whisper of prayer even when you feel tired. It is choosing hope instead of cynicism. There was a woman who once prayed boldly. After experiencing disappointment, she stopped asking for much. He lowered her expectations to avoid further hurt. But one day, she felt a stirring in her heart to believe again. She did not jump into dramatic declarations. She simply began speaking honestly with me once more. Slowly, trust returned. Her faith was not identical to what it had been before. It was deeper. It was tempered by experience, My beloved child, I am not restoring a naive faith. I am building a resilient one. Resilient faith does not crumble when circumstances shift. It acknowledges difficulty but refuses to surrender hope. It trusts that even when outcomes differ from plans, my wisdom remains greater. Pay attention to the small signs of renewal, the quiet gratitude that rises unexpectedly, the peace that returns during prayer, the courage to hope for something good again. These are sparks of faith being reignited. You do not need to force belief. Simply stay open. Bring me your honest thoughts. I am not intimidated by your questions. I welcome them. Faith grows in relationship. As you continue walking with me, remembering my past faithfulness, and stepping forward despite uncertainty, your confidence will strengthen. My beloved child, your story is not defined by one season of doubt. It is defined by the journey of trust you are choosing to continue. Hold on to this truth. I am consistent even when your feelings are not. I am steady even when circumstances fluctuate. I am near even when you feel distant. Let your faith rise again, not in pressure, but in peace. I am with you, and I am worthy of your trust. My beloved child, the gift I am breathing back into your life now is joy returning. Not a shallow happiness that depends on perfect conditions, but a deep, steady joy that rises from within. There was a time when laughter came easily to you. There was a lightness in your spirit that felt natural. But as responsibilities grew and disappointments accumulated, that lightness became harder to find. You did not lose your capacity for joy. It was simply covered by layers of concern and fatigue. Joy is not denial of hardship. It is strength in the middle of it. It is the quiet assurance that even when life feels heavy, goodness still exists. And I am restoring that awareness in you. There was a gardener who endured a long winter. The ground was frozen. The trees were bare. Every morning looked the same, gray and silent. After months of cold, he began to forget what spring felt like. But beneath the surface, life was preparing to return. Roots remained alive. Seeds waited patiently. When the first warm breeze arrived, tiny green shoots began pushing through the soil. At first, they were small and easy to overlook, but they signaled something powerful. Winter had not won. My beloved child, winter did not win in your life either. The heaviness you carried was real. The exhaustion was real. But beneath it all, your spirit remained alive. Even in your lowest moments, there were small sparks of gratitude. A kind word from someone. A quiet sunset that caught your attention. A moment of calm that surprised you. Those were seeds of joy waiting for the right season. Joy often returns quietly. It may begin with a simple smile. A moment when you realize you are not as burdened as you once were. A conversation that feels lighter. A memory that no longer stings but instead carries wisdom. Do not feel guilty for laughing again. Do not believe that embracing joy dishonors the pain you endured. Healing and joy can coexist. In fact, joy is evidence that healing is working. There was a man who carried grief for years after loss. He believed that allowing himself to feel happiness again would mean forgetting. But one day, he laughed at something unexpectedly. Instead of guilt, he felt gratitude. You realized that joy did not erase love or memory. It honored them by continuing to live fully. My beloved child, I want you to live fully. Joy strengthens your heart. It renews your energy. It sharpens your perspective. When joy returns, you see beauty more clearly. You become more patient. You respond more gently. This joy I give you is not fragile. It does not disappear at the first sign of difficulty. It is anchored in trust. It is rooted in the understanding that I am still good, still present, still working. Pay attention to what brings light to your spirit. Engage in moments that restore you. Surround yourself with voices that uplift you. Allow yourself to experience simple pleasures without overanalyzing them. Joy is not selfish. It is sustaining. You have walked through serious seasons. You have carried responsibility with strength. Now I am inviting you to breathe again, to laugh again, to hope again. My beloved child, joy is returning like spring after winter. It may start small, but it will grow steadily. Let it. Receive this gift. Embrace it without fear. And remember, the joy forming within you is not dependent on circumstance. It is rooted in my constant love for you. My beloved child, the gift I am unfolding around you now is alignment. There have been seasons when things felt scattered. Relationships felt strained. Opportunities felt mismatched. You tried to force pieces together that did not quite fit. You questioned why certain connections became complicated and why some paths felt heavy instead of life-giving. But I have been quietly realigning your life. Alignment is not loss. It is adjustment. When something is out of alignment, even slightly, it creates strain over time. A wheel that is not aligned wears down unevenly. A structure that is misaligned develops cracks. In the same way, when relationships, habits, or commitments do not match who you are becoming, tension grows. You have grown, my beloved child, and growth requires recalibration. There were people who fit your life in one season but do not fit as comfortably now. That does not mean you must resent them. It means your direction is shifting. There were habits that once felt normal but now feel burdensome. That is not failure. It is awareness. There was a musician tuning a violin before a performance. Each string had to be adjusted carefully. If one string was too tight, it would snap. If another was too loose, the sound would be dull. The process of tuning required listening, adjusting, listening again. When the instrument was finally aligned, the music flowed beautifully. My beloved child, I am tuning your life. You may feel slight tension as certain things shift. Conversations may become clearer. Boundaries may need to be set. And new opportunities may require releasing old commitments. This is not chaos. It is calibration. Alignment also means placing the right people around you. I am positioning individuals who resonate with your growth. They will challenge you without diminishing you. They will encourage you without enabling stagnation. They will walk beside you with shared vision. Do not fear when some connections fade. Not every departure is betrayal. Some are simply seasons completing their purpose. You have sensed this realignment already. You feel drawn toward healthier environments. You notice which spaces drain you and which energize you. That discernment is part of the gift. Alignment requires honesty. It asks you to admit when something no longer fits. It asks you to trust that letting go creates room for better connections. My beloved child, when your life aligns with who you truly are, peace increases. Decisions feel clearer. Energy flows more freely. You stop striving to maintain what no longer serves you. This process is gentle but intentional. I am not uprooting you recklessly. I'm repositioning you wisely. Imagine a compass needle adjusting to point north. It may wobble briefly before settling into direction. But once aligned, it guides consistently. I am aligning your heart with your purpose. I am aligning your relationships with your growth. I am aligning your path with your calling. Pay attention to the shifts. Notice where you feel resistance and where you feel flow. Notice where you feel diminished and where you feel strengthened. Alignment is a gift of clarity and freedom. It removes unnecessary friction. It prepares you for the next chapter. Trust this process. Even if adjustments feel uncomfortable at first, they lead to harmony. My beloved child, I am arranging your life in a way that allows your gifts to flourish naturally. Walk confidently into spaces that feel aligned. Release those that do not. When alignment is complete, you will experience a deeper sense of ease. And in that ease, you will recognize my careful hand guiding every adjustment. My beloved child, the gift I am awakening within you now is confidence. Not arrogance, not pride, but steady, grounded confidence rooted in truth. For too long, you have second-guessed yourself. You have questioned your abilities before even trying. You have dimmed your light in rooms where you were meant to shine. But I did not create you to shrink. Confidence begins with understanding who you are in me. It is not based on flawless performance. It is built on identity, growth, and trust. You have walked through refinement, healing, patience, courage. These were not random lessons. They were forming a foundation beneath you. There was once a young woman who constantly compared herself to others. In every room, she measured her worth against someone else's strengths. If someone spoke more eloquently, he felt small. If someone achieved more visibly, she felt behind. Over time, she began to withdraw, believing she had little to offer. But one day, she realized something powerful. The qualities she admired in others were different from her own, not superior to them. She carried strengths that others lacked. When she embraced her uniqueness instead of competing, confidence began to rise. My beloved child, comparison has stolen enough of your peace. It is time to let it go. You were not designed to mirror someone else's path. Your journey is distinct. Your voice carries tones that no one else could replicate. Your experiences give you insight that is uniquely yours. Confidence does not mean you will never feel nervous. It means you move forward even when nerves are present. It means you trust that you are good for what is in front of you. There are rooms ahead where your perspective will matter. Conversations where your input will shift outcomes. Opportunities that require you to step forward instead of stepping back. Do not let insecurity silence you. You have learned lessons that others have not. You have endured storms that shaped wisdom within you. That wisdom deserves expression. Sometimes you hesitate because you fear judgment. You imagine worst-case reactions before you even speak. But remember, not everyone's opinion carries equal weight. Some voices are background noise. The only voice that defines your worth is mine. Confidence also means setting boundaries without apology. It means saying no when necessary. It means protecting your peace without feeling guilty. Imagine a tree that has grown tall over time. It does not apologize for its height. It does not bend itself smaller to make other plants comfortable. It simply grows into what it was created to be. You, my beloved child, are growing into your full stature. There may still be moments when old doubts whisper. That is normal. Growth does not erase every memory of insecurity. But now, you have awareness. You recognize those whispers for what they are, remnants of past seasons, not present truth. When doubt speaks, answer it with remembrance. Remember how far you have come. Remember the obstacles you overcame. Remember the times you thought you could not handle something, yet you did. My beloved child, lift your shoulders. Raise your head. Walk into spaces with quiet assurance. You do not need to prove yourself through constant effort. Your consistency and integrity speak for themselves. Confidence allows you to receive compliments without deflecting them. It allows you to accept opportunities without overanalyzing them. It allows you to trust that you are ready, even if you are still growing. Pay attention to this shift within you. You are no longer the same person who once hesitated at every turn. You are stronger, wiser, more aligned. Stand firmly in who you are becoming. I have equipped you. I have prepared you. And you are capable of more than you realize. My beloved child, the gift I am bringing you into now is breakthrough. You have felt the pressure building. You have sensed that something hath been shifting beneath the surface. There were moments when you wondered if anything was truly changing. But breakthrough rarely announces itself loudly at first. It begins quietly, like cracks forming in a wall that once seemed immovable. You have faced barriers that felt solid and permanent, patterns that repeated, limitations that seemed fixed, situations that refused to budge no matter how much effort you applied. And in those seasons, it would ease to believe that this was simply how things would always be. But I tell you now, walls do not stand forever. There was a river that encountered a massive rock in its path. At first, the rock seemed immovable. The water could not push it aside in a single rush. But the river did not retreat. Day after day, it flowed steadily against the stone. Over time, what once appeared unbreakable began to wear down. A small crack formed, then another. Eventually, the rock split, and the river moved forward with renewed strength. My beloved child, your persistence has not been wasted. Your prayers have not disappeared into silence. Your quiet obedience has been building pressure against what once blocked you. Breakthrough is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is the moment you respond differently to a familiar trigger. Sometimes it is the realization that something which once controlled you no longer holds the same power. Sometimes it is an opportunity that appears unexpectedly, aligned with the growth you have been cultivating. You may not yet see the full opening, but you can sense the shift. Conversations are changing. Your reactions are calm. Doors that once felt sealed are beginning to loosen. I have been preparing you for this moment. The patience you learned, the courage you developed, the healing you embraced, the confidence you are stepping into. All of it has been forming the strength required for breakthrough. Breakthrough is not only about external change. It is internal liberation. It is the release of old mindsets. It is the dismantling of beliefs that kept you small. It is stepping into freedom with clarity and purpose. There was a woman who believed she would always struggle with self-doubt. It had followed her for years. But gradually, through consistent growth and trust, she began to challenge that narrative. One day, she realized she had spoken confidently in a room that once intimidated her. The breakthrough was not flashy. It was subtle but powerful. The chain had weakened without her noticing. My beloved child, some chains are already breaking in your life. You may have thought breakthrough would look like fireworks, but often it looks like peace where there was anxiety, boldness where there was hesitation, alignment where there was confusion. Pay attention to these shifts. Do not dismiss them as small. They are evidence of movement. External breakthroughs are also forming. Opportunities that align with your purpose are drawing nearer. Connections that match your growth are positioning themselves. You have been refined, strengthened, prepared. Now the pressure that once felt restrictive is becoming propulsion. Trust that when the wall gives way, you will not be overwhelmed. You are ready. Breakthrough does not mean there will never be challenges again. It means you are no longer confined by old limitations. It means you have crossed a threshold. My beloved child, lift your eyes. The barrier that once defined your horizon is cracking. The space beyond it holds expansion. Continue forward with faith. Continue trusting my timing. What once held you back is losing its grip. You are stepping into a new level of freedom, clarity, and movement. The breakthrough is not coming someday. It is unfolding now. My beloved child, the gift I am nurturing within you now is gratitude, not forced positivity, not denial of difficulty, but a deep awareness of what has already been given, even in the midst of what is still unfolding. Gratitude shifts your vision. There were seasons when you focused mainly on what was missing, what had not yet arrived, what did not go according to plan. That focus was understandable. When you long deeply for something, its absence can feel louder than everything else. But as you have grown, you are beginning to notice something powerful, even in waiting seasons. There were gifts. You woke up each day with breath in your lungs. You were sustained through moments you thought might break you. You were guided away from dangers you never saw. You were comforted in ways you did not fully recognize at the time. Gratitude does not ignore the pain you walk through. It simply refuses to let pain define the entire story. There was once a traveler who complained constantly about the long road ahead. He kept his eyes fixed on the distant mountains, frustrated that they never seemed to draw closer. One day, an older companion encouraged him to pause and look around. When he did, he noticed the streams providing water, the trees offering shade, the beauty surrounding the path he had overlooked. The destination was still ahead, but the journey itself was filled with provision he had missed. My beloved child, you have not walked an empty road. Gratitude softens your heart. It protects you from bitterness. It reminds you that even when outcomes were uncertain, you were never abandoned. As breakthrough begins to unfold, gratitude anchors you in humility. It reminds you that every step forward is supported by grace. It shifts your focus from entitlement to appreciation. You have grown stronger. You have gained wisdom. You have experienced restoration and clarity. Take a moment to acknowledge that growth. Do not rush past it. Gratitude also multiplies awareness of blessing. When you begin to notice small gifts, you become more attuned to larger ones. A peaceful morning, a supportive conversation, a lesson learned, a mistake avoided. These are not insignificant. There was a woman who began writing down 3 things each evening that she was thankful for. At first, the list felt small and repetitive, but over time, her eyes opened wider. She began noticing kindness in places she had once overlooked. She began recognizing subtle guidance in her life. Her circumstances did not dramatically change overnight, but her perspective transformed. My beloved child, perspective is powerful. Gratitude does not mean you stop hoping for more. It means you honor what is already present. It creates balance between desire and contentment. Even your challenges deserve gratitude, not because they were pleasant, but because they shaped you. They revealed strength. They clarified values. They deepened empathy. Pay attention to what you once prayed for that you now possess. Pay attention to how far you have come from the days when you felt overwhelmed. Pay attention to the stability you have gained. Gratitude is not passive. It is active remembrance. As you continue forward, let gratitude accompany you. Let it guard your joy. Let it steady your heart. My beloved child, I delight when you recognize my hand in your life. Not because I need praise, but because gratitude keeps your heart open and receptive. There is still more ahead. More growth. More blessing. more purpose unfolding. But do not miss the beauty of this moment. Pause. Dream. Give thanks. In gratitude, you will find peace. And in peace, you will see even more clearly how deeply you have been loved all along. My beloved child, the gift I am revealing to you now is transformation. Not surface change, not temporary adjustment, but deep, lasting transformation that has been unfolding quietly within you across every season you have walked through. You may not always recognize it because transformation often happens gradually, day by day, choice by choice, prayer by prayer. But when you pause and look back, you will see that you are not the same person you once were. There was a time when fear spoke louder in your life, when insecurity dictated your decision, when impatience stirred quickly, when doubt felt overwhelming. But now, something is different. You pause more, you reflect more, you trust more, you forgive more easily. These are not small shifts. They are signs of transformation. Imagine a caterpillar enclosed within a cocoon. From the outside, it appears still. Nothing seems to be happening. But inside, a complete reformation is taking place. The creature that entered the cocoon does not emerge the same. It is reshaped entirely, prepared for a different way of living. A transformation is not rushed. It is thorough. My beloved child, you have been in your own cocoon season. There were moments when you felt hidden, when progress seemed invisible, when you questioned whether anything meaningful was happening. But inside those quiet seasons, I was reshaping your thinking, renewing your heart, strengthening your spirit. Transformation is not always comfortable. It requires letting go of old patterns. It asks you to release familiar but limiting beliefs. It invites you to step beyond comfort zones. But every layer shed has made room for growth. You no longer react the same way you once did. You no longer chase the same validation. You no longer tolerate what once drained you. That is evidence of maturity forming. There was a man who once defined himself by achievement alone. His worth was tied to success. When setbacks came, he felt shattered. But over time, he learned that his identity was deeper than performance. He discovered value in integrity, kindness, resilience. His external circumstances fluctuated, but internally he became steady. A shift was transformation. My beloved child, your transformation is rooted in truth. It is not built on pressure or performance. It is shaped by relationship with me. You may still see areas where growth continues. That is natural. Transformation is ongoing. It is a journey, not a single event. But do not overlook how far you have already traveled. The fears that once paralyzed you now only pause you briefly. The wounds that once defined you now inform your wisdom. The confusion that once clouded your direction now sharpens your discernment. Pay attention to the new thoughts that arise, the new habits forming, the new confidence settling in your posture. These are not coincidences. They are signs of becoming. My beloved child, you are evolving into the person I designed you to be. You are stepping into greater alignment with your purpose. You are shedding layers that no longer fit. Do not rush this transformation. Do not compare it to anyone else's pace. Every life unfolds uniquely. Celebrate the growth. Honor the lessons. Embrace the new season. You are not who you were. You are stronger, wiser, more grounded, more compassionate. And as transformation continues, you will find yourself walking with greater freedom and clarity than ever before. Trust the process. I am not finished shaping you, but what I have begun is beautiful, and what is emerging will carry my reflection more clearly than ever. My beloved child, now I want you to see something clearly. The gift I have been speaking about through all these moments, through strength and clarity and healing and breakthrough, is not only something I am placing in front of you, it is something I have been forming within you. The gift is already in your hands because it is becoming part of who you are. You have been waiting for a sign, for an object, for a sudden shift outside of yourself. But look closely. You are not the same person who first began listening to my voice in this season. You carry more peace. You carry more discernment. You carry deeper courage. Those are not small changes. They are treasures. There was once a young artist who searched endlessly for the perfect tool to create something meaningful. He believed that if he only had better brushes, better paints, better lighting, he would finally produce his masterpiece. One day, an older mentor told him gently, "The greatest tool you possess is your eye, how you see." The artist realized that what he needed had been developing within him all along. His skill, his perspective, his patience were the true gifts. My beloved child, you have been looking outward for what I have been building inward. The clarity you gained is a gift. The healing you embraced is a gift. The patience you developed is a gift. The confidence rising in you is a gift. And these gifts are not temporary. They move with you into every new season. You once believed that blessing would come only as external reward. But true blessing is transformation that cannot be taken from you. Doors may open and close. Circumstances may shift. But the strength and wisdom formed within you remain. Pay attention to how differently you respond to life now. When uncertainty arises, you do not panic as you once did. When criticism appears, you do not crumble as easily. When opportunity knocks, you hesitate less. That is the evidence. You are becoming the kind of person who can carry greater responsibility without losing peace. You are becoming someone who can bless others because you have learned gratitude. You are becoming someone who can guide others because you have walked through confusion and found clarity. There was a traveler who sought treasure in distant lands. He journeyed far, faced trials, and searched endlessly. After years, he returned home weary, only to discover that the wisdom he gained along the way was the treasure itself. The journey had shaped him into someone richer than any gold could make him. My beloved child, your journey has shaped you. The gift I am giving you is not fragile. It cannot be stolen by another person's opinion. It cannot be erased by a single mistake. It is woven into your character. This is why I told you to pay attention. Because you might have overlooked the most important change of all. You are no longer defined by fear. You are no longer controlled by old wounds. You are no longer paralyzed by doubt. You are walking in strength, alignment, courage, gratitude, and peace. The gift is already active in your life. And as you continue forward, it will multiply. Carry it with humility. Carry it with confidence. Carry it with awareness that you did not form it alone. I have been guiding every step. My beloved child, look at your hands. They are not empty. They hold growth. They hold wisdom. They hold purpose. You are becoming a blessing. And as you step into the next chapter, you will realize that the greatest gift I have given you is the transformation of your own heart, ready to receive even more. My beloved child, we have walked through many truths together. I called you to pay attention. I revealed gifts hidden in your waiting, in your healing, in your courage, in your refinement. I showed you that what felt like delay was preparation, what felt like pressure was strengthening, and what felt like loss was alignment. Now you see more clearly. The gift I have been giving you was never only about circumstances. It was about transformation. It was about awakening you to my presence, strengthening your spirit, restoring your joy, renewing your faith, and aligning you with your purpose. You began this journey wondering what I was placing in your hands. And now you understand. I have been shaping your heart. You are stronger. You are wiser. You are more peaceful. You are more confident. You are no longer walking blindly through distraction. You are attentive. You are aware. You are grounded in my love. Do not forget this season. When new challenges arise, remember the patience you learned. When uncertainty appears, remember the clarity I gave you. When fear whispers, remember the courage that rose within you. The gifts I placed in you are not temporary. They are lasting. And as you step forward, know this: I am not finished blessing you. What you have experienced is only the beginning of deeper understanding, greater alignment, and wider impact. Continue walking with awareness. Continue listening for my voice. Continue trusting my timing. My beloved child, as this message has strengthened you, there are countless others who are still waiting to hear my voice speak into their darkness. When you respond by supporting this mission through Super Thanks, through membership, or through the PayPal link in the description and QR code, you are not giving to a platform. You are helping me reach souls who are searching for hope. I declare over you that as you sow into spreading my word, you will reap encouragement, provision, and divine favor pressed down and overflowing. If your heart feels stirred right now, that stirring is my invitation to act. Do not delay obedience when it carries eternal impact. Your generosity becomes light in someone else's midnight. Your seed becomes oil that keeps this lamp burning across nations. I bless every giver with multiplied peace, renewed strength, and open heavens over their household. Step forward with bold faith. Participate in this harvest of souls. Release your gift and watch me expand it beyond what you imagine. My beloved child, lift your head. Walk forward with confidence. Pay attention to my presence daily. I am guiding you. I am protecting you. I am blessing you. You are loved. You are chosen. You are equipped. And I am with you always. Amen.